What's that? Oh, I'm trying to do this video. I don't want to do it. I do want to do it. I'm just, no, I'll do it. I don't know why. I just don't have the motivation or something. I think I'm suffering from a severe case of catch you on the flip side of the intro. So we're talking about procrastination, specifically procrastination in training, although this can apply to any area of your life where you're putting off doing something that you really want to do. So let's be clear about this. The whole subject of procrastination is complex, and there's lots of different paths you can go down, but I've tried to distill this into the simplest concept I could, and 2 questions you need to ask yourself to decide where your issue is within procrastination. So first of all, I'm talking about you are not doing something that you've told yourself that you want to do. Okay? And you're putting it off. And it's not putting it off by an hour or 2 hours. I'm talking about not doing it. So very specifically, you are not doing something that you've told yourself that you want to do. For the purposes of this video, this is procrastination. And I would say many of us suffer from this in many areas of our life, myself included. I honestly was procrastinating and doing this video, although truth be told, I only procrastinated like 3-4 hours. True procrastination in the sense that we're going to be talking about now is me just not doing the video. Maybe not for many days. But be that as it may, here I am talking to you, so I didn't really procrastinate more than a few hours. But I still did. But you know what I'm trying to get at, right? So what questions should you ask yourself when you go down this rabbit hole of procrastination? I'd say there are 2. Number 1 is get really honest with yourself. This may mean sitting in a quiet space for 10 or 15 minutes, meditating with a notebook. Be honest. You can't do this while you're cooking dinner. Sit and think about the thing, the practice, the behavior, whatever it is that you're struggling with procrastination on, and ask yourself, how much do you really care about that thing? About doing that thing? On a scale of 1 to 10, is it a strong 7? Is it an 8? Is it a 9? Or is it a 10? 10 means you do this thing or you die, which is a really interesting idea, because if you do that thing or you die and you don't do that thing, this gets into the complexity of procrastination. But we're not going to get down there on this video. This is just the first start of this whole topic. How important is that thing that you want to do to you? Honestly. So let's just say it's weight loss. You really want to lose 10 pounds. And you're not doing anything about it. You think about it, and then you eat your bag of Kettle Valley jalapeno potato chips, or you drink that 6th beer, or you don't exercise for the 10th day in a row, whatever it happens to be, right? You have to ask yourself, how much do I want to lose 10 pounds? Is it a 7 out of 10? Which would be, I really want to. I want to look good. Summer is only 3 months away, 2 months away, right? I'm starting to think, I need to get in shape, and I want to fit my bathing suit, right? Well, a 7 out of 10 is going to be a fairly weak motivation if you have other competing things in your life. So maybe part of the problem in your procrastination is you don't really want to do it badly enough yet or ever. And I'm not making any judgments. Just because you want to do something and don't do it doesn't mean that you have to convince yourself somehow that you need to want it more. What if you don't want it more? But if there are other things in your life that are more important, well, you should do those other things, and you should let yourself off the hook. Maybe you should just forget about this whole procrastination thing about that one thing in your life. But if you answer this question with an 8, a 9, or a 10, then there are other things that are standing in your way. But it's an important question to start with. How important is it to you? Not to somebody else that you want to please, not to an idea that you think is reasonable or desirable. Inside your heart, how much do you want that thing? I'll give you a crazy example. Let's say you're very motivated by money, but very motivated by money. And I said to you, I will give you $1 million if by noon tomorrow, so between now and noon tomorrow, let's just say it's 12 hours. The next 12 hours, you run 5 kilometers. I don't care how fast or how slow. If a person is very motivated by money, and 99% of the time, by noon tomorrow, with the next 12 hours, they are going to run that 5K and get that $1 million. So there is no procrastination that is going to happen there. Why? Because that's really important to them. But if you were a multi-billionaire, let's just say you have $100 billion in the bank and a bad knee, and I said for $1 million you have to run 5K in the next 12 hours, I can see a lot of those people putting that off. I mean, most would probably go, seems like a reasonable effort for $1 million. Seems like easy money. I can see a lot of those types of people putting that off because in their heart, they were not hungry for that $1 million because they don't need it. So I know it's an extreme example, but think about that thing that you're putting off. How important, desperately important, is it to you in your life? So start with that. Second is that thing that you want at an 8, a 9, or a 10 out of 10. How important is it that you do it in a time frame? So if it's important that you do it in the next couple of days, that will make it less likely for you to procrastinate. If it's something that's important for you to do, but you have a whole year to do it, obviously your chances of procrastinating are high. So there's 2 parts to procrastination. It's how much do you want to do it, and how important is it that you get it done in a certain time frame. So think about those 2 things. Simple video. Write down, out of 10, how important is it to you, and then write down what is the time frame in which you believe you need to get it done. And then you will understand what may be standing in your way. Maybe it is that it's not all that important to you, or it's not something that you need to get done immediately. So those are the 2 elements of procrastination I'll get you to think about. So when it comes to training, what are you training for? Health? How important is your health to you? Like, honestly, do you think that you're going to drop dead of a heart attack in the next 5 years if you don't work out? And you're working out to prevent heart attacks, but you don't think you're going to have a heart attack? Then you're not really going to be motivated to work out. Secondly, if you really think that you're going to die of a heart attack in the next 5 years if you don't work out, maybe 5 years is too long of a time frame for you to wrap your head around. Maybe you think, well, I'll work out in 4 years then. Maybe I'll make the changes necessary to avoid a heart attack 4 years from now. So just think about these 2 things. How important it is, what time frame are you working with? And I will not procrastinate in my next video, which talks about, okay, let's assume it's very important to you and you have a very specific time frame and you're still not doing it. Then we can talk about, what might be standing in my way of doing it then. So that's it. That's my talk about procrastination. I get to celebrate because I got this done and I could have not done it. I could have procrastinated forever on this, but I didn't. I got it done. So, small victories. Ciao.